Hello everyone, my name is Jeannine and I'm the Customer Marketing Director at Click. Today I have the honor to welcome two very interesting personalities who are very passionate about data literacy. So let's start with the introduction of everyone. Perhaps Angelica, you would like to kick off?
Oh yeah, sure. I'm Angelica, Klidos, half Greek, half Dutch, speak both languages of course, and English as well. And a touch of German, Boris, so you will be happy. I'm 50 years old, already working a long time in the field of data analytics. I think it is over 25, 30 years, working from statistical static lists to the dynamic reporting, giving advice to companies. And at this moment, I'm working at Two Focus as a manager education, and in my spare time, I'm a teacher at the University of Applied Sciences in Amsterdam, where I teach kids from a new block of data and analytics and get them excited.
And you, Boris?
That's pretty impressive. Yeah. So my name is Boris. Michael, depends on where you come from. So I work in the field of data and analytics for a bit more than 10 years now. I'm working for a company in Germany called Inform, the data lab division of that. In my free time, I do not yet teach at any university. Might be in the future, I don't know. But currently, I'm climbing, doing lots of outdoor sports, and absolutely burning for all things data literacy, and so on. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, welcome both. We're here today actually to talk about some very interesting news you both would like to bring to the attention of everyone. But before we actually touch upon that, I'm actually very curious to know what your shared background is. How did you guys meet? I mean, Angelica living in the Netherlands, being Greek, and Boris in Germany. So where did you guys meet and how long ago was that?
We are actually both Click luminaries. And we met at the Click World online conference where we watched each other's presentations. I watched his, he watched mine. We started discussing in the chat area of Click World Online. And from there we went to WhatsApp and we chatted, and then the idea came up, let's do something together which can bring something to the people, to embark people, go on the journey to become data literate. And that we don't say they're not data literate, but we say you have to continue, you have to grow.
Yeah, I think that was actually quite funny, right? Because we had two sessions, they had both been approved, they've been both on the program, and then we watched them and thought, well, that's kind of similar, isn't it? And they were like almost identical in content. And so yeah, so this sounds like someone I need to talk with, because we apparently share the same ideas, share the same passions, and yeah, share the same like desire to educate the world and how you can use data to make everyone's life better. Yeah, especially within organizations and also in your like personal time, right?
Yeah.
Great. So it's actually very recent that you guys actually started to connect with each other and started to brainstorm about how you can actually bring more attention to data literacy, I guess.
Right,
yeah. Okay. So you, I actually had a sneak peek at your great new platform that I want to know everything about. So tell me, the dataliteracygeek.com, why did you decide to create that platform? What is it? Yeah.
I will let Boris start for now.
Yeah, no worries. So when we started talking about that topic and feeling that we had a connection in that like desire to educate people and help them, we had a look around and saw that you have great resources online about what data literacy is, how you can use it, how it even like interesting stories about why it's important and why not. You know, with the political world that we live in currently, it's really important to be able to understand if numbers, stories, facts that are presented to you are actually correct. right? And especially in a world where everybody's working from home. I mean, this is also getting old now, but you know, it's like having or sharing responsibility for business decisions is really important, because you're not like sitting in the same space anymore. So everybody needs to develop some sort of like responsibility and a feeling of, or a feeling for where they can obtain information, how to process it, to make these decisions more independently. And all these examples of why it is important and data becomes more and more important, especially in a world like the world that we live in today, led us to one reasoning, that is, so you can get like loads of information about how to process data, which tools to use, and then how to use these tools. I mean, this is the world that we come from as Click luminaries as well, right? So we're technical in a way. We also like to dive deep into the platform, but utilizing data in the everyday life is not only about knowing how to, you know, like deploy a tool and use it within an organization, but it's also about engaging people and their desire to do these things, to in overcoming a fear maybe that you're not like feeling ready to tackle that. Understanding which sort of information is relevant, and when it's not, in understanding when something that is presented to you is not relevant, and then also like just, you know, lighting the fire, sparking that desire to get engaged, get with like data, and then therefore develop data literacy as well. Yeah.
As you
Great.
say,
Did I forget
always.
anything?
No, your phrase of course, people should want to work with data instead of that they have to or that they
That's right.
must. That's the biggest difference. That's we want to make people more enthusiastic in working with data and analytics. And we heard many times the stories in what data literacy is, but we want to give the tools in stories, in templates, movies, recordings, uh, to help people to get inspired and do things actually to become data literate or to grow in that path to be more experienced in working with data and analytics.
Great. And why are you both so passionate about data literacy?
Well, okay, if you have an accident and you have some brain damage, and then by fun you start analytics projects to make your brain work again, I think that's enough. No, I love. It's not only from a data perspective, of course, because I love to advise organizations and people what to do, how to measure your organizational goals, because I think most of the time um, the developers are so good in developing beautiful dashboards, but then you see so many graphs and tables that you can't see the forest through the wood anymore. And I think it's very important to set your data strategy and to build your organizational goals in beautiful dashboards and analyze them and give that opportunity. And not that it's because you have to prevent that it's a wild growth and they have to find their ways through so many dashboards. So structure, data strategy, and then from there learning and embark people to get on that boat and go.
I think this is what everything that we do and have been doing for a long time now, right, is about, is generate value, enrich people's lives. Nobody is like creating analytics applications so just so that you have numbers which are accessible to people, right? So sadly, this is how many of these projects go these days, right? So it's about like automizing reports, but the nicest projects that I assume we all like hear about or even deployed or developed is when you generate help for people in everyday lives, you know, like giving them a tool, not the tool as such, right? But giving them a tool to overcome challenges on a day-to-day basis, right? And what we find out is that like 2, 3, 4 years ago, it was sufficient to have like an external like partner like us, for example, come in, help them deploy a solution, doing some things that hasn't been done before, you know, like installing sensors, collecting data, trying to create a digital twin, and then providing a solution that really helps them overcome challenges that their business or they individually face in their everyday life within that business. And what's changed today is that far more data is available, and the required speed to deploy these results has become a lot higher, right? So it is now, I think, more necessary than before to have people within the organization developing a mindset and understanding to bring their curiosity and their aspirations within finding solutions on a more technical level and understanding how data can help them in their everyday lives to overcome the challenges they face on a day-to-day basis.
And if we're if we're looking at your platform, the dataliteracygeek.com, what are your objectives for the platform?
Well,
and what can people find?
Inspiration, and movies, book lists of books we preferred to read, and even in the future make some book reports about it, to help them also to educate actually, and maybe in the future as well add templates on it. And you know, it has to grow. Of course, we have a basis now, and we have finally also a place where this difficult word, the Encyclopedia, where we registered all kinds of terms related to data and analytics, and which I have collected for more than 11 years in a Word document. So you can imagine, I had everything in a Word document. It had to be transferred to Google Spreadsheet. It had to be translated from English to Dutch, from Dutch to English. So I have now in 2 languages all definitions and terms, and from there it had to go on the website.
Yeah.
So,
I think the general idea is to create like a one-stop shop for people who want to learn about data, how you can use data to get better, to how you become data literate, right? So it's not only, and this is, I think, something where we need to be a bit careful with the term data literacy as well, right? Because it's defined, right? So it's about the ability to utilize data, to understand data, I think the original term was argue with data, or communicate with data. But this is not like our main goal is not like creating an education platform. We say, yeah, you know, you need to use a bar chart then, and you use a line chart then, and you don't use pie charts except if you're Brian, right? But it's also about like getting excited about these things, right? So we want to share experience, we want to share stories, we also want to share educational content, obviously, right? We want to share the literature that we read. We want to we've created a format called the Data Literacy Geek Fireside Chats, where we invite people or just have like these discussions as you've just experienced before we started on that call, right, amongst us, and then just, you know, speak about these things, exchange them, and then let other people in on our thoughts, right? And then also give them an opportunity to join us in these chats, right? And this is also something that's important, because we don't think that we have the entire truth, right? We have a fragment of it, but we want to create like a collaborative experience. We want to have people writing their own pieces on our platform, right? So we share blogs, but if somebody feels like, all right, so this is not entirely correct, or I want to add something to it, or I just want to add anything in general, yeah, go ahead, right? So we've created a Slack workplace for people to like collaborate on and exchange ideas. We're currently working on finding some sort of like forum and all these things. Currently, you can write comments, obviously, under the individual blog posts. So we want to create like a collaborative, shared experience with and for people who, you know, like want to embark on a journey to A, become more data literate, and B, become more passionate and engaged with that entire world of data analytics, and generating value from data in general.
Yeah.
So basically,
for the
anybody
people,
with an sorry,
Sorry.
I was going to say anybody with an interest in data and with you know, a passion for data is welcome to join you guys and learn with you guys. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly, yeah.
it's for the people with the people, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Excellent. Great.
Yeah.
And so can you share something maybe about your experience in the past? What kind of organizations or you know, data managers, BI managers learn from your experiences? What can you
Well, if I look to my experience, there are several stories, of course, but we will write about that in the future, and I've discussed it many times. Of course, about Call to Balloon, which is a fantastic story. But I think the biggest lesson that I have learned from my career at UWV, where I used to work, is that one of my mentors, he told me that I was so enthusiastic about data. I was always running around with my laptop, stealing data from everywhere to build with my team beautiful dashboards and provide them to the people of the internal workforce, the staff of UWV. And it started growing from not even 50 users until 5,000 users during my career at the UWV. And I was chatting with some people from the financial desks. You know, they have all around the 174 offices in the Netherlands. They had everywhere somebody who was collecting data and making reports. And I went to some offices and I asked them, but what if I would help you in creating a data model and the basic reports that you need so you can go analyze and advise your management? And the first response was, of course, okay, oh, that's scary because analyzing is something difficult, but I also cannot work anymore with Excel or with Access to build those dashboards. And I was discussing this with my mentor, and he told me, well, Angelica, you are a fantastic manager. You are a guru if you look at data and analytics, but please look sometimes behind you if the people are still with you, because you can run fast, but they have to keep up with you. So please hold your pace a little bit and let them come to you so that it will work at the end and that you can spread the word around data and analytics and everything. And that was a big lesson, because when I was backwards again and waiting and giving those workshops about data and analytics and what can you reach with it, they actually came after a year or so and asked me the question that I asked a year before that. So that was a big lesson. Sometimes you can run hard, but you have to wait so that the people can come to you and keep it up
with you. Yeah.
I had like a similar experience. It was a bit different in in a way. It's just you've probably experienced something similar as well, and this is something that I've also used when I made that talk for ClickWorld this year. This is, you know, it's like you have a business intelligence project, right? So you're deploying a Click app. So I'm a solution architect, right? So I used to be, I'm now head of the solution architect team. I don't get out on POCs that much anymore, sadly, but I used to do it in the past a lot, and I really loved it, right? Because you're out there, you're with the people, you have like tons of people on the same table. You've got 3 days to do. We used to call it, I think you do as well, seeing is believing workshops, right? So you have everybody there, the people who are supposed to use the solution in the future, the people in IT, somebody who doesn't want you to deploy Click in their organization. Then sometimes you have like management there as well. Everybody is excited except for that one guy, right? And then you convince them to go ahead and use this, deploy the solution. Sometimes you're obviously not able to convince them, but most of the times we were, at least. And so then the project starts, and an amazing application is built, it's deployed, published to a stream, and then the people open that application, navigate to the sheet where that information is they want, and then they right click and export to Excel. Right? And this is kind of like where I think what the experience will be for many Click consultants out there, and other business intelligence consultants probably as well, right? is that you find people who just want the numbers because they don't really understand what the value of really like diving into getting explorative, curious about data as well, right? And this is something. This is why I always say like the term data literacy is a bit dangerous, right? Because I think we're also about cultural change and educating leaders within organizations, telling them, listen, it's important that you give your people room and space to experiment. You know, like why are these guys just running into the application, pulling the numbers, chucking them into their PPT, and never looking at the app again for another month until they need to create the next report? It's because they don't have time to actually engage with the information, to try and to find out things, to learn things about their business, and maybe discover opportunities to make it better, right? And I think this is why I always say it's a bit dangerous to juggle the term data literacy, because we're looking a bit also outside of that box. But maybe this is also something about being data literate, is also like finding out how to operate a business that has data-minded people. Right?
Should we stop saying
Oh.
data literacy? Good question.
Well, we've got the domain now, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, but it's more than
Is
just
data literacy? Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go.
No, I was going to say, is data literacy in your encyclopedia?
Yes, it
hope
is.
so.
It is. I've added it. It wasn't there. It wasn't there
Really?
because I stopped filling it because I had so many terms and words and things, and the last 5 I added last week, I think, and I don't know if we just uploaded them already, but it was about augmented intelligence and active intelligence. What are or machine learning or artificial intelligence? Because everybody is talking about AI, and they mean augmented intelligence, and I think what? And so we need to be careful in titles that we give to certain kind of things, like, but the terms need to be in there so we can address it. And the beautiful thing is with the encyclopedia that people can respond to it and ask to add titles or even to adjust a title as well.
So I think the encyclopedia is a really cool part of our website, and we've pre-filled it with some things. But if people want to add to it, modify it, maybe expand on a couple of things because they think, well, wait, bar chart, why is there only like 6 sentences here? You can write an entire book about it. Yeah, go ahead and do it, right? So because we want to create like a platform, something where people can come to get inspired, find information about certain things, maybe look up individual terms that they come across. And this is also something pretty cool, right? Because if you write blog posts on our website, and one of the terms that you use is in the encyclopedia, you automatically get a highlight there, and it links to that individual word, and you get a tooltip with a short excerpt about what it's all about, right? So if you read an article and you don't know some of these terms, you'll get instant help about it to understand it as well.
I'm at home. I'm a mom.
Yes, yeah, everyone is.
That's okay.
Yeah, I like it. Great.
It's a funny time that we live in. So.
Yeah, definitely. Is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience today, and maybe an insight into what's next for the platform?
Yeah, we were discussing, I think 2 days ago, about a chart-o-matic. I love that concept. And with the chart-o-matic, it needs to be built, of course, because Boris always comes up with difficult things. But actually, what I from my experience, so when would you use which visualization, which dimensions and expressions belong to those graphs? And that's something I'm missing, because everybody is talking about beautiful graphs, but I'm looking for the use cases. And that's what I miss. So I think that will be the next project to think about, and maybe to to get some help in designing it or whatever. But that's something that's still on the list.
Yeah.
We will do some fireside chats, of course, with guests as well, because, and I want them to be, that's our, our view on that is that it needs to be free format. It's a platform for the people, with the people. So you have to be able to share all the information that you want to tell. And of course we have to be polite and all these kind of things, but that's important, I think.
Yeah, and we've got loads of like content lined up about the things that we're talking and thinking about, right? So it's also something that I've been sharing with Angelica a lot, was thinking about responsibility around data. You know, you've got governance, you've got security, you've got all these things, but you need to start, you know, educating and helping people understand of how data in your everyday life outside of the office, outside of the business works as well. Right, so when you're when you're surfing Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all these things, all the opinions you see, that they're pre-made and premeditated to things that the algorithm behind these platforms think that you're interested in, and challenging these things and being responsible with sharing information, all these things is something that we're thinking about creating a series, maybe something. That is that might be interesting as well, right? Because it's about firing people up about data and analytics and all these things, but not like neglecting the sometimes
The danger. The
dangers or the things that you need to be careful about when you heavily engage with these topics as well, right?
Yeah, even for the first time this year, I have developed a college lecture at the university about data ethics and security, because profiling people, it's a gray area and you have to be careful with that. So that's also something we can talk about and get all those opinions from the people, the experts, also all over the country, all over the world. So that's something cool as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but in general, you know, it's like the idea is to just get this thing out there and see what the feedback is, and see if we're always looking for collaborators and all these things. But I think we can just us two can probably chat for 6 years without us getting bored. But getting other people on the format is probably the way to go as well. You know, and the main goal, like we've said many times now, is create a source of inspiration, ideas, a place to share, to ask questions, to obtain knowledge, to spread knowledge, and spread the passion as well, obviously, right?
Yes. Yes.
I had a good time talking to you guys today about the dataliteracygeek.com platform, and it's I'm very curious to see, you know, what else you are building on the platform. So I'll definitely keep an eye on your development, and I hope to speak with you soon. So thank you for today.
Thank you so much for your time, Jeannine, and it was great to have you asking questions to us. So that's cool. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
So thank you, and it's going to be great. It's going to be a journey. Yeah.
Definitely.
Thanks, guys. Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Stay safe. Bye.
Bye.